Question 1316. Have you ever sought to intentionally ruin Thanksgiving because you hate it?
Apart from coming on here today?
You think this is going to ruin it?
It is ruining it for my parents.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
But I have a good reason to not be there. I have a, I don't want them to die reason.
It's not intentional, Julie.
Yes.
Sorry. No, I've never intentionally ruined it, but I have created awkward moments because, again, I can't keep my mouth shut. So I'm usually I'm quarrelsome. The rest of my family are really conservative, and they're all very religious Republicans, so we disagree on a lot of things. So what you're saying is
you're quarrelsome and they're wrong.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Julie, is it the kind of the thing though where they like insist you sit down and say prayers or whatever, and then when you don't, they're like, why are you trying to force your atheism on me?
No, nobody mentions the A word around my parents because my siblings graciously and nieces and nephews all agree that would do nothing but completely break their hearts. And my mom has dementia, so we're just not
exacerbate the situation.
Yeah, it would exacerbate everything. My parents my mother has literally told me in tears how grateful she is for me because I'm the only child of hers who remained a good Catholic.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was this close to coming out about it as an atheist to her too in the moment. I'm like, did you know what I was about to say? Fuck. Like that. I can't do it now. You're crying.
In my family, every time it's brought up, my mom will say, well, at least you were baptized. To the point where now it kind of makes me angry when she says it. It kind of pisses me off. Like
I had no choice in that.
What is this cheap shit that you're saying,
Yeah. When I came out to my parents, my mom expressed her disappointment by saying that, but you were the only good one.
Oh.
Jeez, thanks, Mom.
Damn.
I was a black sheep, so they expected me to be insane. So, it all works out.
Chad says, NA. Sirif says, not unless me not showing up at the family dinner ruins something. Badger says, I would sort of like to do this for my roleplay friends so they can play with me. Yandere says, I just don't care. Ox said, no. Titan says, I've been told you're ruining Thanksgiving while sitting quietly. Harmonica Man says, nope, weird. I'm simply a delight. Ox says, if they could see me now is running through my head.
Where I'm from, people are extremely confrontational, so we rotate on who's going to ruin the holidays. Every year it's somebody else who calls out somebody else for something that, for some reason, we have a knack of bringing up things that happened 20 years ago and still being mad about it. That's why I stay away from my family.
So, do you get to decide in advance who's going to be the problem this year?
Well, you can usually tell because everybody else is talking shit about that person. So you can usually tell who had a crummy year.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talking trash about them.
Who broke the rule this year?
Well, Catholics are very tribalistic, and they all, like in my family, I don't even think anyone likes each other. They just come around because that's what they do. They just.
No, you have to. You
I don't.
aren't allowed to. I know. But like what you were saying about the Catholic tribalism, I was like, because, damn it, this is a family thing. You will be there, and you will pretend you like it.
Yeah.
I stopped putting myself in positions of people that I'm going to get in a fist fight with years ago.
Well,
years ago.
Well, I usually have a good time, honestly, because I do, love all of those people. They're great when they're not talking about politics or religion, and we try not to talk about those things, except for the Catholic grace is better. Like the prayer you say before the meal, it's just better. It's short. You can run through it. It's done. My siblings who are born again, now we've gotten into this thing where my brother does grace, and it's this weird, like, thank you, Heavenly Father, for everything that you've given to us, and it goes on and on and on, and Jump Shop and I are usually standing in a corner going, how long is it going to go on with this?
I
want to eat. My mashed potatoes are getting cold.
I want to know that why my family of atheists still says grace.
Yeah. Tradition is a powerful thing.
It is.
Guilt trip from dead people, I think somebody called it.
Yeah. Titan says, my sister gets drunk and yells about politics, but apparently I'm at fault. I find it hilarious.
Oh gosh, I'm your sister. Titan.
Sounds like my family.
That's me.
Sounds like my family. You literally just described my sister.
Jeff. I mean, assuming not Thanksgiving. Go with another holiday.
No, I've never intentionally tried to ruin something like no.
Manda, wait. Manda, why are you trying to ruin Thanksgiving?
I'm not. No, have you tried it yet?
Of course not. It's insane.
It's not insane. Don't fucking knock it until you try it.
She wrote in the chat, everyone make sure to add a couple of squares of white chocolate to their mashed potato today. You will thank me.
Oh.
Okay.
I can see that.
Trust me, it is fucking good.
I think I actually have white chocolate
really,
in the house.
really good.
I think it's not a bad idea. I think it's just missing something.
Like the Ghirardelli squares, and how many per potatoes?
You know, a regular batch likes two little squares. If it's not a lot, it doesn't taste chocolatey. It just adds this little tiny bit of sweetness and flavor. It's very good. We've had this discussion before. Nobody has listened to me. Just fucking try it and shut the fuck up.
I think you have caramelized onions to mashed potatoes.
Hold on.
That sounds like a spectacular idea. Another one that people don't ever think of, or they think you're weird when you suggest cinnamon in a beef dish.
Mm-hmm.
Add cinnamon to your meatloaf sometime. Oy vey.
Yeah, I can see that.
So a normal, like if you're making mashed potatoes for like 3 or 4 people, because that's what we used to make for me and Angel and my ex. We put 2 of those like squares. I mean, it's not like regular chocolate where it's unsweetened. I mean, it's actual sweetened, but it's just squares of white baking chocolate. It's very, very good. Just fucking try it.
I'm just going to say, Manda, I'm not going to knock it. I haven't tried it, but I just think there's a little something that could be added to it just to give it a little bit more flavour.
Wait. There we go. That's better.
and I like a little coarseness, a little chunkiness in my mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
It tells me that
you add either bacon bits
homemade,
or you add caramelized onions.
Not onions. Bacon bits, yes. Onions, no. Onions are terrible.
So what do you do if you put too much milk in your mashed potatoes?
That's good.
How do you dry it up?
Mr. Shadow Kitty says fresh ginger to mashed potatoes.
I'm taking notes. I'm going to be cooking later. I am taking notes right now.
If you over liquid your mashed potatoes, you can put in oatmeal.
Oh.
It's virtually indistinguishable from like potato skins if you leave the skins on when you mash potatoes. So it's virtually indistinguishable that way, visually and taste-wise. It's very neutral and it absorbs huge amounts of liquid.
Right, not that this is the question, but the chat is talking about it. Sheriff says I add honey to mashed potatoes. Badger says everyone should add a block of red Leicester to their mash.
Red what?
Red Leicester.
Cheese.
Sorry. Don't know what that is. What is it?
Cheese. It's cheese. Quite a dark yellowy colour. That's what I can recall. Back to the question. Ricardo says,
cheese hates me.
As a Portuguese, do they call them a Portuguese? That doesn't sound right. As a Portuguese, I have never celebrated Thanksgiving, but I also don't really know what a family gathering is without a massive discussion. This is how we show family love in Portugal.
We in our family, if we're going to do that, for bacon, we don't put the bacon in. We just put a teaspoon or so of bacon fat.
Manda, do you try and ruin Thanksgiving intentionally?
No, I don't give a fuck about it enough to ruin it.
Apparently it's red.
I'm going to do my answer. I can't imagine anybody actually wanting to intentionally ruin a holiday for somebody else. Whatever holiday it is, for whoever it is they're ruining it for. Why would you want to do something so awful?
I think what happens though, is
They're
that
forced to go. Is the issue.
or like I come from a long line of sensitive people, so like if I walk in wearing a certain vest, they'll try to pick a fight from what I'm wearing or something, you know. So if someone's sensitive, no matter what, they're gonna try to mess with you. So
I've been excluded from family holidays because for being an atheist. So.
Oh wow!
Oh, I'm excluded all the time. We don't want that pervert over here.
my family is generally shocked, and they honestly are. They still are kind of dumb. They're in denial. They're just like they say stupid things. Every time I say I'm an atheist, they just start chatting in circles.
Well, back when I was neo-pagan, I came out to my parents twice about that, and my mom just conveniently forgot. And my dad said, "It's fine. When you're ready, the Lord will lead you back. You're fine." All right.
When people get that question to me, "Are you an atheist?" or something like that, I don't say yes, I'm an atheist. I always say, "Well, no, I would never waste my time believing in ghosts and goblins." Do you? and it immediately puts them on the defensive that they were trying to put you into.
In
the
In the past couple of years, more people have talked trash to me about my upside down crosses than when I was like a full punk in high school, you know, with a fro hawk and wearing a belt of nails, and you know, like more.
We still would have made out in high school. Oh my god!
To add to that, it's my brother and his cunt of a wife that she's specifically doesn't when their kids were younger didn't want my influence around, but they would try to have my son come to Thanksgiving without me. So
I would
no, I would not go along with that.
Oh no, of course not.
Good, I'm glad you did. I did go through something like that when one of my siblings and their spouse, I'm being very cagey here, became born again. I didn't see my nieces or nephews for 2 years because I was the pagan bad influence, and they didn't want that around their kids because they had to indoctrinate them with the Jesus.
I think my son is the first person in my family to not be baptized.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably out of like 60 people I can think of, my son's probably the only one who's not baptized.
I have family members.
My son just for my mother, for her sake, but she brings that up because my son is an atheist too. His decision, not mine. But she brings that up and trying to tell me that, well, clearly you believe in God. You had your son baptized. Like, no, I did that for you.
This is why it's a problem that In God We Trust is on fucking everything in America.
Exactly. My mom baptized me because I was born during a very, very bad blizzard, and they literally could not physically get to church. And my grandfather was really paranoid. He was born in 1911. This is why, but he was really paranoid I was going to die and end up in limbo. So he was like, "You need
limbo."
Yeah, or purgatory. I think it's limbo, but or what? It's not anymore. It's not anymore. But yeah, it doesn't matter. The fuck that. So anyway, the point was, my mom was like, "Dad, I already took care of it. She's fine." Because it's a weird little kind of thing in Catholicism. If you can't get to a priest, a layperson can perform a sacrament. Not all of them, but baptism is one of them.
God, Catholics are so weird. I was raised Roman Catholic. Catholics are so weird.
I know, it's nuts, right? Like I look back at all this stuff, and it's like, wow, that's insane. My grandfather's biggest worry for me was that I might die before they sprinkled some water on my head. I'm like, what? I'd be more worried about the kid dying.
Exactly.
Ox said, most of my family is dead and gone, or don't even know I'm alive, but I'm good with that. I like not having all this family bullshit to deal with.
Oh, you'll live longer. Less stress.
Right, anyone else?
You?
To say? Me? No, not really. I've gone in boisterous into family gatherings. Probably. I don't think I'm naive enough to think it wouldn't cause trouble. But I've not cared. It's not the issue.
Yeah, well, I don't have a massive amount of family left. So we've never really done a lot of massive family gathering type things anyway. So, you know. It's never been a massive issue.
Ours are claustrophobic. Like too many people in too small space.
Yeah, I have a huge family.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.